14 minutes after 8 o'clock. Well, listen, we're going to go to film school right now with Joe Fortunato, and he's taking us back to the future. And, Joe, I'll let you take it from there, my friend. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, Greg. Good morning, everybody. And, yeah, we're kind of kicking off the second half of the year, so to speak, with a big one. And you already alluded to it. Back to the Future. Its 40th anniversary from 1985, July 3rd, 1985 was the day it was released. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, written by Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, sometimes collectively known in the industry as the Two Bobs, and executive produced by Steven Spielberg. Of course, it stars Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, Crispin Glover, Tom Wilson. I don't think I'm going that far on a limb to say this is one of the most beloved movies or beloved trilogies or franchises, if you include parts 2 and 3 of all time. I know a lot of fans that love this movie just like I love Jaws or something like that. So it's a big one, and it did get 4 Oscar nominations for screenplay, sound, visual effects, and original song for Huey Lewis's The Power of Love. It did win only 1 for Best Visual Effects. It was the top-grossing release in 1985, and it held the record at staying at number 1 at the box office for 3 solid months. So not just a big opening weekend like we kind of judge things today, but it had legs, as they say, and longevity. The rights to, and this is kind of good news for fans, I think, the rights to the film and its sequels are owned by the Two Bobs, Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale. And they have said that there will be no reboot or remake of the film during their lifetime. So, the purists out there can rejoice that they'll have their original film. The film originally was inspired by Bob Gale discovering his father's high school yearbook. And he wondered, would he have been friends with his father as a teenager? So Gale said that he had the chance, if he had a chance to go back in time, he would really go back and see if him and his father would have been friends. And that was sort of the inspiration for the film. Talking about the script, and I mentioned it was nominated for an Oscar, it was actually rejected 44 times before it was finally greenlit. And aside from the Oscar nomination in 2006, it was voted the 56th best screenplay by the Writers Guild of America. So, that's always a lesson to stick-to-itiveness. Don't take the first no as an answer. One of the iconic things, of course, is the DeLorean car as a time machine. But it wasn't originally that. It was originally a laser beam, and then it was a fridge before they finally settled on the DeLorean. And the Two Bobs actually got a fan letter from car maker John DeLorean after the film's release, thanking them for immortalizing his car, which it did. The DeLorean car was deliberately selected for its sort of general appearance and gull-wing doors to make it plausible that people in 1955 would see this and say, hey, that's an alien spacecraft, because the DeLorean was so unique looking, even then and even today, quite frankly.
Well, that's Joe Fortunato taking us to film school Back to the Future, and I can't wait to hear about casting, because one of the cast members was there for the first one, disappeared in the later ones, but it's a great cast, too, when you go back in time and look at the cast of this movie. So, Joe, go ahead.
It really is a great cast, and I'll tell the story that I think a lot of people kind of already know. Michael J. Fox was the first choice for Marty, but he was unavailable due to scheduling conflicts with his work on Family Ties. So then they cast Eric Stoltz as Marty based on his performance in Mask. And after about 4 weeks of filming, which added up to about roughly 40 minutes of footage with Eric Stoltz as Marty, Zemeckis, Gale, and Spielberg all felt that Stoltz wasn't right for the part. And Stoltz agreed and was paid his full salary, and they let him go, fired him, however you want to say that. That's pretty unusual, that deep into production. Anyway, Michael J. Fox worked out the schedule to fulfill both his commitment on his TV show as well as the movie. And every day he drove straight to the movie set after finishing the show, maybe get 5 hours of sleep. And ultimately, they said after Fox arrived on the set, not only did he fit the character, but he made everybody else's performances as well. So one of the more famous little bit of casting pieces. Some other casting trivia. some of the people that were also considered for Marty McFly during that period: C. Thomas Howell, and as I mentioned, Eric Stoltz. The Johnny Depp auditioned for the role as well. For the role of Doc Brown, John Lithgow was actually the studio's first choice, but he had a scheduling conflict. Christopher Lloyd was the close second choice, and of course, he's fantastic. But some other people that were considered: Dudley Moore, Jeffrey Tambor, Jeff Goldblum, Gene Wilder, Dick Van Dyke, all fantastic choices, perhaps. Yeah. For the character of Biff Tannen, the bully, Tim Robbins was considered. So there's a number of fun casting there. Speaking of Biff Tannen, Tom Wilson, the actor who plays Biff, is often asked, by enthusiastic fans, all these questions about the movie. He's actually printed out postcards with frequently asked questions as a time saver. So whenever he gets asked questions, he just hands over a postcard. He also has a song. He does stand-up comedy, and he's written a song about all the questions he gets asked. It's very funny. It's up on YouTube. If you probably search for Tom Wilson Back to the Future song, you'll find it. If you're a fan, I highly encourage you to take a look at that. I talked about the film being rejected by studios. Most studios actually rejected the film because they didn't think it was raunchy enough. Because at the time, during the early 80s, the most successful teen comedies were pretty raunchy. Disney, on the other hand, went the other way and rejected because they thought the angle of a mother falling in love with her son was too inappropriate. So, it was somewhere in the middle there, and they finally, obviously, Universal said, hey, we'll do this.
I think also one of the best characters is the guy who plays his dad in the movie. I think I can't remember his name. I'm sure you do. But
Crispin Glover.
Yeah, he was terrific in that role, Joe.
He was not the most liked person on set. He's a bit of a difficult person to work with. And this is kind of maybe going off into a tangent here, but one of the more famous segments on the David Letterman show back at the time was Crispin Glover coming on David Letterman, and he started fighting with Dave and gave him a karate kick, and they kicked him off the show. So that's another thing to go YouTube if you're looking for that. I'll kind of finish up with one sort of thing, and again, I think this is something that maybe a lot of people already know, but if you don't know, it's kind of a fun fact. We all know Michael J. Fox as Michael J. Fox with the middle initial. Well, originally when he was a young actor and he was coming into his own, and he joined the Screen Actors Guild, there was already a Michael Fox on the books, and you can't have the same name. So he had to change it. Now, his middle name is Andrew, but he didn't like Andrew Fox or Andy Fox or Michael A. Fox. So he made up a name, and one of his favorite actors was the character actor Michael J. Pollard, who a lot of people probably know from Bonnie and Clyde, and they know his face if you don't know his name. Anyway, so he just stole the J from Michael J. Pollard. J means nothing. So it's Michael J. Fox, and that has nothing to do with his middle name. It's just a name he chose for the Actors Guild.
Well done, Joe. Joe Fortunato, film study professor, taking us back to the future. Joe, before I let you go, anything happening over at your website? Are you going to be out anywhere?
Well, nothing imminently, but we always encourage everybody to go to joefortunato.net and see what's coming up, or look at the archives of these shows and some of the other things that I do, podcasts and such. I will say tickets aren't available yet, but mark the date for September 20th. We will be doing Fortunato Film School live at Jilly's Superman the Movie. And I couldn't be more excited about that. Of course, we'll talk about that in months to come. But mark the date now, because you're going to want to get your tickets in advance of this, because I've never done this movie in Ohio. So this is a first time to do one of my favorite movies of all time, Superman the Movie. That's September 20th. Mark the date and go check out everything at joefortunato.net.
Hey, Joe, before I let you go, you crank for the new Superman movie that opens up this weekend?
I saw it yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm a huge Superman fan. It's a little difficult for me because I have to give the caveat that no film will ever supplant the original, 1978 film with Christopher Reeve for me. So I have to go into any new Superman movie with that sort of, okay, we're not going to get to that level, but let's just enjoy this for what it is. And, I think when I make that sort of rule for myself, and I kind of encourage anybody else that might have a love for the original to go in with that expectation, I had a good time.
That's good to know. All right. I know a lot of people in my little circle are heading to the movie today to see the movie. Joe Fortunato, he takes us to film school each and every Friday. He's a film study professor. Joe, as always, my friend, thank you for the time. We'll do it again next week.
Okay. I look forward to it. See you then.
All right. There you go. We always appreciate Joe making time for us on Friday mornings.